What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Breakdown. I am your host, Danny Marang. This one's going to be a quick hitter edition. If you didn't get to see the lead-up adjustments to Game 4, go ahead and click back down that video. I'll have it up here, for you to go ahead and maybe get a little bit of a refresher before we dive into this. But the big thing I want to take away from this video is how the Portland Trailblazers got Norman Powell involved early and often in Game 4 and the implications that it had. So with that in mind, let's dive into it. All right, so the Blazers really started from the jump to get Norman Powell involved, and quite literally from the tip-off. We'll roll it here forward and take a look at where Norman Powell's gotten set up already. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Let's highlight, zoom in. Hey, Norman, he's just chilling out here by himself. Literally hands on his knees, like, I can't be bothered to do anything. You've got Damian Lillard 40-ish feet out. You've got a defender who's actually playing a lot tighter than you would to probably anybody outside of Steph Curry. So that opens out a little pocket of space. You get a little down screen here for CJ McCollum. Gets a bit of a zipper cut up and through. We'll play this up. You're going to see CJ come up, and then you're going to watch Jusuf Nurkic roll across. Hey, there we go. Look, a little decoy backpick action. And again, Norman Powell cannot be bothered. Hands on knees, just like, you know what, I've seen all this before. No big deal. I'm just going to sit a possession out. It'll be all right. But we get a little bit of that fake action here. Again, watch the video from a couple days ago. That will highlight the things we're talking about here. Getting these actions going earlier in the clock, as you notice, 14 seconds on the clock, and on the opposite side of the floor before you get to the primary actions. This is all set up. This was 100% going to Norman Powell early and often, and I like the little bit of theatrics we get involved here. We'll push it forward here. You get that back pick action, and as you come back, Nurk's going to come back and rescreen on this side. Hey, hello. And now you've got, who is that? Facu Campazzo, Michael Porter Jr., and Austin Rivers. Hardly a murderer's row. By the way, it's Damian Lillard running the baseline off the dunker spot into the corner. We'll roll this forward. Norman Powell is getting the ball against a defense in motion. Again, the key, getting them in motion early and getting it on the move coming downhill. You've got Nurkic here with the pick. You can see that, again, that group of defenders, and Michael Porter Jr. has to split the difference between Robert Covington and Damian Lillard. And then you've got Facu Campazzo underneath, who you're not really worrying about. Powell is free to turn the corner on Nikola Jokic. Little step-through action. Porter Jr.'s like, I don't really care about it. So I left one defensive clip in here. Because this is quite literally the next possession. This was feeds on the whole idea of keeping Norman Powell involved. So I'm just going to play this one through and see what you kind of get out of this. Again, 30 seconds later, you can see it on the clock. They go to their little pin down DHO action. It gets blown up. Rivers dribbles it off his foot, and then guess who? Norman Powell. Boop. Again, 2 possessions. 2 Norman Powell buckets, both going downhill. But of course, why does it matter if they're going downhill? The big thing is, and as we'll get to it here, we'll look forward to the next play. Boop, boop. All right, so we get a 1-5 pick and roll. Obviously, up top, we got Damian Lillard, Jusuf Nurkic. You can, again, let's roll this back real quick, just a little bit for anybody who didn't catch every bit of it there. You've got Aaron Gordon up high. That's that top box. Help side, that's the ball side. So basically, if you draw a line from the middle of the court right there, the Portland all the way up to the center of the free throw line, that's your help side, that's the ball side. And Michael Porter Jr. is in the weak side on Norman Powell. And as we run it forward, again, that's 6'10 and 6'9 on the back line. Let's take a look here. Jusuf Nurkic, he comes free, top of the nail. Jokic has got to book it to get back. They kind of went quasi show a little hedge pressure. It's kind of goofy. I thought that was pretty lazy of Denver, to be honest. I don't think that's necessarily Portland playing that great. I thought Jokic was pretty checked out early on. So, but again, you catch here in the middle of the floor, and this is where you want Jusuf Nurkic catching. Excuse me, I can't talk today. It's a long day of pressure washing catching up to me. But as he catches in the middle of the floor, he has 3 options. This is what you talk about when you're playing 3-on-2 as Jokic is trailing. You've got Powell in the corner, you've got Covington in the opposite corner, or he can attack. Well, what happens? Let's roll it forward. Michael Porter Jr. has had to deal with Norman Powell a little bit already. I got to keep my butt on Norman Powell. So now, as we roll back one last time, that little bit of an angle as Jusuf Nurkic turns, well, Porter takes that false step. Now, this could be a rookie move, or he's not technically a rookie, and he's not really a rookie anymore. He was last year. Regardless, young player, we'll call it that. How about that? But as he takes that false step, he takes himself out of any kind of help position, takes, again, Norman Powell, because that early and often aggressiveness probably pulls him out there. All right, let's fast forward to 7:50 to go here. You're going to get some staggered screens out of the corner for Powell. And again, if you haven't watched that video, this isn't me trying to get views out of you. This is me trying to help you out and trying to understand why the Blazers are doing what they're doing. And that is clearing these empty corners over and over and over again and running staggered actions on the opposite side of the floor. Here we go again. Got Norman Powell coming out of the corner, staggered screen. Quick RIP there for our guy Aaron Gordon. The possession before Gordon picked up... he ran over Norman Powell, and Norman Powell wasn't too thrilled. If you want to find something to equate it to, the level of justice he took it to, it was Andre Miller on Blake Griffin-esque. So, shouts to Andre. Well, we always give him love, but Aaron Gordon, he dies right here. Norman Powell takes the staggered screen up. Gordon is in no position. I think he actually gets hit twice there. And then it's just mean at this point in time. Michael Porter Jr., who knows what on earth he is doing at this point in time. Jokic doesn't realize that Aaron Gordon is dead and they're playing 4-on-5. And it's like, oh, God, I got to get out there. But it's too late. Norman Powell's in a rhythm. All right, let's roll it back one last time here because I want everybody to appreciate what Norman Powell did to Aaron Gordon. Because it was mean, it was rude, it was gross, and it was very nice. All right, just again, real quick, just so everybody can kind of see. Right here, as he comes out of that corner, it's a dangerous spot to be up against Norman Powell. This dude is about the most, you know what, he may be the most outwardly competitive dude on the Blazers, and I love him for it. Just a little bit of cheekiness. As you can see right here, look down in the corner, left-hand corner. He hits him with that shoulder to the, we'll call it the soft part of the body. And he folds him like a lawn chair and then shucks him. So that's the whole idea of like understanding the toughness and how he's able to guard guys that are bigger. Mostly he's a complete peta and he's a little dirty. And I think I like that about him. Just a little bit. All right, let's get into another play here. Again, pay attention. The Blazers are already into their offense at 18 seconds. Little pick here to get Robert Covington free. Again, early actions. Getting into their sets quicker, faster. Don't let Denver get set. Don't let them plant their feet. Don't let them know where the attack is coming from. Even if it is a quick dribble handoff. Even if it is a 1-5 pick and roll. Get a little something extra into it. So you get Covington here. They're going to get the DHO/hand back. You got the shooters in the corner. So you've got Damian Lillard in one corner, Robert Covington in the other, Jusuf Nurkic middle of the floor. Good places to have guys, right? So we'll flip this up. And then what do we get here? You get Jusuf Nurkic in the middle of the floor, and let's go and let that text show. So you get this 3-5 quasi. It's more like a 1-5 or a 2-5 pick and roll. But we're clearing that corner. Again, if that lower left-hand side corner that Norman Powell is vacating, coming uphill or up court, he's going to get that handoff from Jusuf Nurkic. The big thing is there is no help defense. CJ McCollum has taken Facu Campazzo above the break at the three-point line. You can't leave Damian Lillard in the weak side corner with this kind of action going on, and Covington is splitting the difference in the slot. As we run this forward, Jusuf Nurkic is turning this corner. He's going to get just enough of the screen to cause a little bit of a stagnation. Then it becomes about decisions. Facu Campazzo, he sees the action that is happening here and anticipates, I'm probably going to need to do something because otherwise they're going to end up playing 2-on-1 on Jokic with Rivers on the backside, and that's not a good place for my teammates to be in. So as we roll it forward, you're going to see Rivers leaving Lillard for the help. The up-top defenders sag in, and then as Norm turns this corner, what do you get? You have 4 different choices. Norm could throw a lob. He actually is capable of doing that. CJ McCollum on the quick kick, Cove to the slot, Dame to the corner. All right, so click. Which decision does he go with? Oh, he draws one more step, and it's CJ McCollum for a butt-naked 3. Again, just all the time in the world coming out of that. And a 1/1000. Oh my God. Just nice rhythm, dip on the shot. That's the kind of stuff you love to see. And again, Norman Powell creating because he's now involved. If you go back and you watch some of the clips from from game 2 and game 3, you see Norman Powell get a little bit of blinders on because he's not seeing the ball nearly as much as he should. The big takeaways for me are obvious in this case for Norman Powell. Getting him involved early and often doesn't require him to pick his spots quite as much. He can work his way into the game. He can make a few decisions. He feels like he's a part of the offense. You do the same thing with Jusuf Nurkic. You get him involved in some pick and rolls. You get him in the middle of the floor. Those guys need that because they're the emotional engines, so to speak, of this team. Nurk, especially so, but Norm is just that dude, and I've seen a lot of that recently because he's so competitive. He wears it on his sleeve. He plays like an a-hole. I love that. So for the Blazers, I think if you're looking for something from Game 5, it's to get those guys involved. What does Denver do to take those actions away? And it's incumbent upon Damian Lillard and McCollum to not only get those guys involved, but get them in the decision-making process. And if Denver does look to take those guys away, to blow up those actions, well, then you're just spinning the wheel back to getting Damian Lillard and McCollum and more involved, and how the Nuggets adjust to that, well, I don't know if you'd call that adjustment, but putting the ball back in their hands a little bit more frequently with a less set defense. We've seen what those guys are capable of. So this is the chess match that you're looking at going into Game 5. And it's going to be interesting to see because I don't think we're going to see Jokic perform the way that he did. I think that was more of an aberration than anything about anything that Portland did. But that little side game, if you caught it, Michael Porter Jr. says he's going to inflict his will upon the game. And that'll be incumbent upon on Norman Powell to disrupt him probably for a period of time. So getting both those guys involved early and often, Norman Powell, Jusuf Nurkic, Dame and CJ, finding those guys and keeping them involved in the offense because they're going to get their looks no matter what throughout the game. The other guys, they might not. They might go 3-4 minutes without really being involved a ton because, a guy may get hot, you may get some free throws, you may try to take advantage of some mismatches on some bench units. That kind of stuff happens. And in the flow of the game, sometimes a guy will get hot and another guy will get looked off in those occasions. Typically, it's not going to be Dave and CJ getting looked off, but the next guys next down the pecking order, get them a few more touches early, let them feel like they're a part of the game, and I think it's going to bode well for Portland going into Game 5, and really it's what should be a pivotal game in the series. Thank you all so much for hopping in this edition of The Breakdown. Keep the questions coming, keep the comments coming. Love the feedback, good, bad, or otherwise. Please like, rate, review, subscribe, that little thing. It is important. It does help me kind of grow the channel to where I can get to the point where, if I'm being honest, I can monetize it and spend more time on it. So, again, appreciate you consuming the content, and we'll catch you guys next time. Consuming content. Oof, I got to come up with something better than that. Take care, guys. Bye.